that is the land swap. Just so that you know, it is coming up for another vote on October 24th. And let me be very specific what this is all about. The parcel of land is located on the west side of State Road 7. It's about a half a mile off of Clintmore Road. And we all know where that is.
North or south?
North.
It is north, thanks, right, north. 581.92 acres. Okay, folks, if you're gonna leave and talk, just talk a little soft. Thank you. And you can talk to the engineers on the way out. Okay, it's about 500, not about, it is 581.92 acres. It is designated and zoned as agricultural reserve. The developer is requesting a change from agricultural reserve to low residential. That means it'll be 3 units per acre. What is going to be developed there, according to the applicant's plan, is 1,000 single-family, age-restricted dwelling units, 250 multi-family dwelling units, 5,000 square foot religious institution, 25,000 square feet of offices, 30 acres for a public civic site development, a future elementary school, 25,000 square foot office. I don't want to get into the water issue because I don't have any experts here on water. And I'm not an expert on water. I know what kinds of waters I like to drink, but that's about it. What I would like to open up, and this is a discussion, it's not a speech. What I would like to open up for a discussion is this something that would be good for our community? And you could be for it or you could be against it. This is a discussion. So if there's any cards on this, if you could hand them in, or if you would like to raise your hand and speak up, as long as you speak up pretty loud. Are there any cards on this? I have a couple of cards on the Ag Reserve, and I know you will speak, and I'll get to you. This is a good one for me to see. I'll wait until the very end. A couple of cards referred to why we're going to have this swap, and whether or not we need the housing. You know how many thousands of units are going to be built there. So if there are no other cards, I'll take questions. I just want you to be nice and loud. You had your hand up first.
Yeah, as it turns out, I live right across the street from where that's going to be going. So my question is, has there been any kind of a traffic study done? My concern is really for traffic on 441. If there's offices and schools and kids and et cetera. Has there been anything like that done so we have something to oppose if we have an issue with it?
The question is a good one. We're talking traffic today, aren't we? So the question is, has there been a traffic study done to explain how we're going to handle on 441 all these people who will be moving in there, the school buses and the kids and everything else? And yes, there was a traffic study done. I have a copy of it. The traffic study was done by Simmons and White, and it was done by the applicant. It was done by the applicant. I have requested that the county do our own engineering study on the traffic. This is public record. Anyone is welcome to have a copy of it. It is not that unusual that an applicant will have their own engineering study done. As an attorney, I think it's pretty smart. But as a taxpayer, and as your county commissioner, we need to do our own on behalf of the people. and not on behalf of the applicant. So I have requested that the county do our own engineering study to see exactly what's going to happen as a result of the additional units and office and school and everything else that will be built there. That is a good question. Okay.
Will they complete it in time for people to register any issues before this vote in October?
Sure hope so. I sure hope so. I have requested it. Let's see. Okay, here, and I'm going to do the questions that are given to me, and then I'll answer yours, okay? The question is by Sean Jonas. What's going to happen with the wildlife living in this area if this site goes from agriculture to units? I know that every developer has to have a study to see if there are any, particularly those little turtles that burrow in our ag reserve, and hopefully we will get that study before the October 24th date comes up. I used to bicycle on Lyons Road, and how many times have I seen these turtles in the road, you know? I always pick them up and take them over to a wildlife place. I'll tell you the secret, the best place for turtles that you find on the road is Murakami, because they're completely protected there. If you ask them, they'll take them. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just wanted to say about construction and development in general in our dear old Palm Beach County.
Can you speak up? Everybody hear
Yes.
her?
It seems like we are putting the cart before the horse. We need to take a moratorium on development, look at what infrastructures, resources, water are necessary, and be willing to say, no more development. It seems as if we're saying, yes, we want all that revenue from the taxes, but there's a point of no return. And we're getting there if we're not there already. And nobody wants to say no to the developers, and I often wonder why. But I moved here in 1980. Yes, I may have been turned away at that point if we said no more development. Oh well, I would have found another place to live, okay? The United States is very big. But we need to put the period. We need to look at, it's so hard, even though we're getting the revenue, as Virginia said, we're looking for more funds to build these infrastructures after the fact, years after the fact, when people have been negatively impacted. We need to look at this before.
Very well said. Very well said.
Can I
Thank
say
you.
something?
Fred, yes.
The comment was just made that nobody is standing up, but I think we all need to acknowledge that Commissioner Sachs, Vice Mayor Sachs, who is a Democrat and also a Republican, Marcy Woodward, they did stand up to the developers, and they very bravely and wisely said no back in May. And now there's another vote coming up in October, and I'm sure that they're going to say no again, but we need 2 more commissioners in order to, there are 7 commissioners in order to have a majority. But I think we have to acknowledge that Maria has really shown really brave leadership, and I am so proud to say that you are my commissioner, and I'm so glad that you organized this meeting. And that has to be acknowledged, that she has stood up to GL Homes, and we all need to stand up to GL Homes and bring that message back to Mayor Weiss, please. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Now, I want you to understand, this is not a forum against GL Homes. And I will respond to that, and I think that's a very good point. There was someone here, yes, sir, and then you, and then, yes.
Dan Goldstein from Valencia Reserve.
Do you want the microphone, Dan? Dan, come on, come here.
Good morning, Dan Goldstein from Valencia Reserve. I'm involved with many different things, but anyway, I'm also a member of the Sierra Club, and I got a notification from them, and Cobra should be doing the same thing, and that is sending out the listing of the 5 members of the county commissioners who voted against that. Now, I remember when Mac Bernard came to Valencia Reserve with David Kerner. We lost David Kerner. He gave up on us. And as a result of that, the county commissioners are now 4 Republicans to 3 Democrats. and they seem to go along with the developers. But if you're gonna, you should get the names, and Cobra should provide that to all the communities of, and it's on the paper here also, someone was showing me.
I have a copy if anybody.
Right. It's what is it, what is that on again? The services, guide to services, has the names of all the county commissioners and their phone numbers. So the thing is, we know that our commissioner, Maria Sachs, and Woodward, what's the
Marcy Woodward.
Marcy Woodward voted for it. The other 5 voted against it.
No, the other way around.
Excuse me. So they voted against it, and the 5 voted for it. So Mac Bernard, and I called all 5 of those already, and you know, the staff was pleasant and so forth, didn't give me any feedback except for one, and that was Marino. The person who picked up the phone there was giving me all these arguments about how wonderful it is and how we need to have all this stuff. And the thing is that it's important that you get people in your community to contact Mac Bernard. I think there's a possibility there. And contact all of them and tell them how we don't want to become Broward County. We need to, you know, maintain our quality of life here in Palm Beach County. So I urge you all to do that. The booklet of Guide to Services has the names of the 5 people who voted for allowing GL to, and by the way, this is just the beginning, because this will become a new precedent, and GL will be able to build everywhere, because they'll be able to swap their land up north that they got real cheap, and sell those $1 million homes, which isn't going to improve our quality of life, as Ms. Sachs was saying, with congestion and hurting our environment. And go out there on Atlantic, it's impossible on Atlantic Avenue, and it's become like that on Boynton Beach Boulevard as well. So please make those phone calls. You know, it's our last chance. Okay, you have nothing to lose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Oh, did you want to say something? Yes.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Laura Roth, first Vice President of COBRA. I'm delighted that you have called this forum and given us this opportunity. We have quite a few representatives of the COBRA board here and from our member communities on Lyons Road and on Boynton Beach Boulevard. There are 2 issues that were just mentioned, as a matter of fact, Vice Mayor, having to do with protected species and traffic, both of which you very kindly said we're going to be referred for study, and we hope that that will be complete in a scant 6 weeks. You were instrumental in getting the August vote. We had been expecting and geared up for an August vote, and now it's going to be October 24th. But if in fact these other major issues cannot be resolved, you certainly would have COBRA's support in requesting another postponement. Let's get these issues resolved. We understand that the issue of concurrency with traffic is something that we really have an uphill battle. But I do want to make very clear, COBRA continues to meet with our county representatives, our state legislature representatives, our county commissioners constantly, and most recently this week, and another one of our members will speak to that. And we are willing to do whatever it takes. We will be mounting a campaign that's going to be mentioned by my colleague Debbie Murphy in a moment. So the information will be out there, but it's all very readily available. But if we don't have answers to some of these major questions, then I believe I and COBRA would support another postponement with your indulgence.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, COBRA. Thank you. Deborah, is there anybody else? And I'm going to come back to you, okay, Deborah? All right, President Vinegar, come on up. And then you, sir, and then we'll go over back to Deborah.
Wow. This really affects the Alliance area a lot. We've been hearing about this for years and years. It was many years ago when they started to attempt to exchange land from outside the Ag Reserve into the Ag Reserve. But there are two major issues here that impact our communities here. I'm president of the Alliance of Delaware Residential Associations. I'm also happen to be on the Planning Commission, and it appears to be a little bit of a poor planning here. Very seldom do you see an overlay that's not a rectangle or a square. Here we have something that horseshoes around some very important, how many acres is Sunshine Meadows? We don't know what's going to happen to that, but there's no way people from Sunshine Meadows, there's incompatibility there. And that's a major issue with a fundamental issue that's used in planning. And it's compatibility and transition. And there's not the compatibility there between you do have Rio Poco, you do have Tierra del Rey, larger lots there. Now, there is increased intensity and increased density that we would be getting with this project. Density, the thousands of units there, and the density of the commercial. We're getting that. We're getting the traffic, the people from South Palm Beach County. We already pay Lake Worth Drainage District from your bill that you get from the property appraiser's office. It's a taxing district. That controls our drainage. So now we're like being double dipped almost, asking to help drainage in another area. Maybe it needs to happen, but not now. Not now. I know that the county, with all their intelligent engineers and all the people we have the Office of Resilience and our engineers that handle the water, they can figure something out without having to impact and exchange lands from outside the ag reserve into the ag reserve. And I happen to be a farmer in the agriculture reserve as well. And I do grow tropical fruits, and we have a very, very special microclimate here that we can grow fruits and vegetables that can't be grown elsewhere in the county. And that's another thing too. But the most important thing is that the inequity that I see, it's an inequity that we are basically being really put out here and to help another district that actually we can help them. Countywide, something can be done. It just needs the engineers and the water issues to be handled by the government of Palm Beach County.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Vincent. Yes, sir, in the back. I'm sorry. And then you. Sir.
Two questions. Number one, I've never seen a map of this plan spread out showing this development as a whole. Number one, I'd love to find out where that's located. But number two, when this vote comes up, can this project be broken up? Can part of it be approved and other parts disapproved? If you like the multifamily but not the single family, you like this development, not that development, is it one large project and that's it? Or can that be broken up?
And the question is, he wants to see a map of how big this project is.
Yeah.
If you give me your email address, I'll send it to you personally. You give me your email address, I'll send it to you personally. And the second question was, can it be in different parcels, in different segments? For example, maybe for the religious institution or for the school, that's up to the applicant. That's not up to us. That would be up to the applicant, GL Homes.
So the county will approve this, but we won't approve that?
No. It's up to the applicant. Okay. Sir, I'm sorry. And then Debbie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Zucker. I'm the president of Audubon Everglades. So many of you probably know that the Ag Reserve has been in place since 1980. And since then, after it was created in the comprehensive plan, there have been multiple changes. The first big change, I think, was in 1989, when they removed 5,000 acres because it wasn't contiguous. In 1995, they went from the PUD of 80-20 to 60-40. which means that for every 20 acres of land developed, 80 acres had to be preserved. Well, that went to 60 acres of land preserved to 40 acres developed. And then in 2015, the death by 1,000 cuts began, and we have seen one continual amendment after another, and continual developments after another. One of the things that I think is often overlooked when we look at the Ag Reserve is that it is the buffer to Arthur R. Marshall National Wildlife Refuge. And why is this important? Arthur R. Marshall National Wildlife Refuge is Conservation Water Treatment Area 1. That is the cleanest, purest water we have in South Florida. Some of you may be familiar with what's going on in Miami-Dade County, where they are fighting the urban boundary development. The urban boundary development is very similar to the Ag Reserve in the sense that it's agricultural land that was set aside to protect the Everglades. The Ag Reserve is land that is protecting Arthur R. Marshall and our Water Conservation Area 1's water. This is water for 18 million people in South Florida. We forget this issue when we look at development taking place in the Ag Reserve. And the development that is taking place is west of 441 that abuts the agricultural reserve. It is important that we try to convince 2 commissioners to vote against this development. And I remember Mayor Sachs's words, and I wrote them down from the May meeting when she voted against this, of course. She said, as far as I'm concerned, the people have spoken. And she's speaking, of course, about the 1999 bond amendment. And the most important thing is that this is our word. This is our bond. And now, how right she is, because if the Palm Beach County Commissioners can't keep their word, then they have broken their bond with all of us, with the constituents of Palm Beach County. So let's do what we can to get them to keep their word. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Deborah from Cobra.
Thank you. I don't know, can I still say good morning? I think we're close, right?
No, it's
Afternoon.
12:03.
12:03. I made notes to make sure that I did not come unprepared and miss something with regard to Cobra's stance on the GL land swap. First of all, Vice Mayor Sachs, thank you for allowing us to speak today. We truly appreciate your support through fighting this good fight. Cobra is made up, for those of you, I know a lot of people here live in the Delray area. Cobra is made up of 107 HOA and condo associations in the unincorporated area of West Boynton. For the last 42 years, we have been the proud stewards of the quality of life in the Cobra area, which is now 55 square miles and includes a good part of the Ag Reserve. If we were to incorporate and become a city, we would be the the third largest in the county behind West Palm Beach and Boca Raton. I'll back up here a little bit. I feel like I'm standing in front of people. Cobra has been a staunch protector of the Ag Reserve and remains adamantly against the proposed GL land swap. Thank you. Since the announcement of the GL land swap, Cobra has met with our county commissioners and state representatives explaining our opposition to this plan, and we will continue to do so, especially up until the October 24th BCC meeting. Most recently, Steve Wallace, our president, Barbara Roth, who is here, our first vice president, Myrna Rossa, our past president, and myself, we have we just met on Tuesday with Commissioner Woodward, and again established a rapport with her and thanked her for her vote against the GL plan in May. We had 2 people on the board, one Democrat and one Republican, who voted against this. We appreciate that teamwork from our county commissioners. Obviously, we need to expand that with the other commissioners. So what are we against? We are against the removal of conservation easements and transfer of preserved land. The preserved land that was set aside as part of the 60-40 rule of development in the Ag Reserve. Reserve land has never been allowed to be transferred from the Ag Reserve to another area of the county. Reserve land that enriches the area with farming, green space, open space, and protects wildlife, the Everglades, and helps minimize flooding during the rainy season. We are against GL Homes dangling carrots to neighborhoods, religious groups, and the county government with the possibility of a water treatment facility of the scope that is usually run by the United States Army Corps of Engineers or the South Florida Water Management. By the way, neither of which has any interest in participating in this. I think that speaks volumes. We do not believe that the county has the expertise, the personnel, or the funds to operate and maintain such a water facility. Based on the GL proposal, we believe that the taxpayers will ultimately pay a significant price for the water project, which should really be called the GL Boondoggle Project. Well, actually, that's not fair. It's actually the Palm Beach County Boondoggle Project. Because GL stands to spend some money, but yet reap billions of dollars. If the preserved land swap was so important and necessary, why is GL Homes donating so much land for the use of religious school, a house of worship, an adult special needs facility, and a small county park? GL Homes is not in the business of building workforce housing. I could go on and on with their carrots. The reality is they stand to make billions of dollars by sending the preserved land in the Ag Reserve to an area of the county that is not ripe for development. Honestly, I can't blame GL Homes for wanting to do this. They've been given the opportunity to make this proposal, but nobody in our area wants this. Our fear is that future development will follow the same path. As this precedent will be set, the preserved land will be sent out of the Ag Reserve. That being said, COBRA does not believe that the BCC voted to transmit this proposal because the BCC voted to transmit this proposal, that the fight is over. We appreciate that the hearing for final approval has changed from August to October 24th, when more county residents are available to voice their opinion of opposition. And we thank you, Vice Mayor, for making that happen. COBRA is fully on board with an action plan that will be launched at our September delegates meeting on September 20th at the Cascades. The featured program for that meeting is a panel of Ag Reserve advocates who will certainly inspire the delegates and guests to go back to their communities, make residents aware, and push for their involvement. It also includes a petition which will be presented to the BCC and a grassroots effort to get residents to attend the October 24th meeting. We want the BCC to understand that the residents of COBRA, the COBRA area, are truly against the debacle known as the GL land swap. If anyone is interested in signing the COBRA petition, first you need to go to our website and sign up for the COBRA newsletter. That would be at COBRA, COBWRA.org. And you'll see where, scroll down, you'll see where the newsletter sign up is. You will then be on our mailing list, and once the petition is launched, you would get an email to sign that petition. Please share this with your friends, your family, your neighbors. We want to make an impact with the County Commission. Again, Vice Mayor, thank you for your support, and frankly, we look forward to being in the trenches with you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. We have any other,
Maria,
because this is a
I want to make an
discussion.
announcement about Monday's broadcast.
Sure, go
That
ahead.
you're going to be on. My name is Fred Hadley. I live in Century Village. I've done a number of stories with CBS 12. Mike Magnoli, he's the senior investigative reporter for CBS 12. And Magnoli interviewed Commissioner Sachs, Vice Mayor Sachs, the other day, and he's doing a story on this GL land swap. He's interviewed a number of other people, and it will be aired this Monday evening, which is September 11th. I'm not sure the exact time, but you can start looking for it around 5 o'clock through 6:30. And it should give us all, you know, a little more publicity and help energize this movement, because there's a lot of eyes on that broadcast. Also, there'll be another meeting over at the West Boca Library. It's the West Boca branch of the Palm Beach County Library System, which is on Yamato and State Road 7, Monday night. Unfortunately, it's restricted to only about 40 or 50 seats. However, I will be streaming it live on my Facebook page. My name is Fred Hadley, and you can find me on Facebook. And I want to just once again thank Maria for doing that interview with Magnoli. I hope you all tune in and support Maria. She's a wonderful, wonderful leader, and is showing real courage in this very important fight that's going to impact our community and our lifestyle for decades. Thank you very kindly. Thank you. The interview will be on WCBS, WPEC, what they call News 12, on your, I don't know what your cable is in your area, but just say, if you have a remote, just say WPEC, you know. And also, I will be copying the video and posting it on my Facebook and on YouTube, so you'll be sick of that video pretty soon. I got news for you. Thanks again for listening, and wonderful round of applause for our commissioner.
This is my uncle, you know. This pretty young lady here has an announcement to make. Would you go ahead and speak right in the microphone?
All right. Hi, my name's Kay Gates, and I'm with the Sierra Club Waxahachie group here in Palm Beach County. I've been with this issue of the Ag Reserve for 20-some plus years. The first time my husband and I were able to vote in Palm Beach County in 1999, and we both came away from the polls with, I can't believe this county is going to vote to preserve an agricultural area. We were duly impressed that a county was going to actually create this. And then since then, as Scott from Audubon and Debbie so eloquently expressed what's been happening with the whittling away of the Ag Reserve, it's just been a sorrow. The Sierra Club, as you know, is an environmental group, and we have put substantial amount of money into fighting this ridiculous swap. We have hired attorneys, we have hired water experts. After our water experts spoke at the last county commission meeting during this, 2 of the commissioners actually said, I don't understand the water issue, I'm not a water expert, but I'm going to vote for this anyway because there just might be some water. Rob Robbins, the former Environmental Resource Management Director of Palm Beach County, put an article in the paper that said there is no way that there is any kind of water that is going to compensate for throwing our Ag Reserve under the bus. Sierra Club has another project going, and we need some money. Put your money where your mouth is. We have a member that's sponsoring a pickleball and tennis round-robin fundraiser. It's going to happen September 23rd. It's going to happen at Palm Isles. You can sign up for it. You can find the information. I have one flyer here. You can take a picture of it. If you don't want to attend the fundraiser, the pickleball and the tennis club, I think you can all find us online, sierraclub.org/Florida/Waxahachie group. We're named after the river, not after the town of Waxahachie. We need some money, folks. We need $6,000 to continue our fight against this agricultural degradation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Okay, I know we have pickleball players here, that's for sure. So we're going to close this meeting down. Yes, sir.
I have some information that's gonna save everybody's life this year, and I have to bring it to your attention.
All right, come on up. Take your time, take your time. No rush.
Okay, good
Take
to see
the
you.
mask off when you speak so we can see your lips.
Okay, thank you. Last month I was tested for COVID, and I tried to get the test to be done, and I wasn't able to. The supermarkets now sell it. Well, there's a free service if you have health care, all right, that comes to your house, okay? You get to see a nurse, they take all your vitals, they do the test. They did 3 tests for me, and the charge was absolutely 0. And I'd like to pass that along to people here, because COVID is spreading, the COVID-19. I have some flyers here, I don't have many, and it's beepermd.com.
Spell beeper.
It's BEEPERMD. This is home service, and if you have insurance, it's free. So you don't have to go out and buy the COVID tests, which are now being sold, and they're no longer free. So that's my report.
That's excellent, yeah, you're right. Where can we put this, maybe on the way out?
I only have about 11 of these, so I'll let you
Okay.
pass it out to the people that you feel appropriate.
Thank you
And this
so
is-
much.
This is what the charge was, exactly a 0.
Why does it say
0,
150? Go ahead, you're gonna need that receipt. Thank
Anyway,
you.
I hope
Thank you.
everybody stays
I
well.
appreciate that, thank you.
And be well, please.
Folks, I want you to contact me. This was a discussion, it's not a speech by me on anything, you know how I stand. But let me just summarize quickly. What I said in my campaign, what I said in my professional life has always been the same. I said it a little, I didn't realize that there would be all this development. What I said originally in the campaign, the shovel doesn't hit the ground until the infrastructure is done. We just heard over an hour of issues on Lyons Road. We overdeveloped, and also Escondido, well, I know you're leaving, but Escondido and Timbers is so overdeveloped, we can't widen the road to make it safe. It's because the development went in, and then we did the roads. Now, everybody knows you can't bake a cake by putting the frosting on first. We love development. The houses are beautiful. They make us feel proud of our paradise. But this paradise is choking. And it's choking because we don't have smart development, as Cobra says. Deliberate development, and that's what we need. So there are no evil doers in this, there's no evil developers. Developers do what they do best. They stay in business, they make a profit, they pay their taxes. But we, the people, have a very important mission to do. And our mission is to protect our people. And part of that is to protect the wildlife, protect the green spaces, to protect our infrastructure, to protect our schools so that the kids have safe places to go to school. So what we're looking at here is a discussion, and I'm glad it was an open discussion, and I look forward to more discussions. But just know that your commissioner has been always the same, and that is development is good, but when it's time, when we're ready for it, and when are we ready? You know when we're ready. We're ready for it when those roads are done well. We're ready for it when the schools are built. We're ready for it when the fire station is in. We're ready for it when we have areas of green space. That those people who come here from all the different states to enjoy our paradise will enjoy the same paradise that we had when we came here. So what we need to do is be vigilant, discuss this, make sure your elected officials do what you want them to do, because that's our mission, that's our job. Thank you for the community organizations that have worked so hard in representing all your people. And thank you for everybody else, the nonprofits, the Sierra, the Everglades, the Audubon. All of you have done so much great work. And thank you for the people who come out. from your HOAs and development condominiums, to have your voices heard. Because this is what we want this discussion to be about, to hear your words and your ideas. So you know how to reach me at the county commission. By the way, those books were not placed there just so you be able to contact other commissioners, which is always a good idea. But it also lets you know all the different services that your county does for you. We love you, we're here to serve you. Everybody stay safe, and we'll see you around soon. Thank you so much, God bless you all, thank you.